But documented, I agree. There's
Yeah.
not many reports of things that are older than 100 years or so, usually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have heard of 17th century ghosts, and a lot of homes in Great Britain and Eastern Canada and Eastern United States seem to have a proclivity of 17th century, 16th century ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
But then there seems to be this, this wide kind of margin, and then the next groups of ghosts that kind of pop up are Normans and Knights and Saxons. Like there seems to be this big chunk of time when you don't really have a particular dynamic of ghosts, if you will, or a century of ghosts. And then you
don't hear too much about medieval ghosts, or do you?
Well, you hear about knights.
Knights. Yeah.
Knights. How medieval do you want to get? Because we hear about Mary, the Queen of Scots, and
right. Well, that's true. Yeah. True.
So
I agree.
So that's right. Medieval into Elizabethan age, but I still think it qualifies as medieval.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
yeah, I never thought of it.
Real medieval, like we never hear about Robin Hood.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't real anyway, was he?
Well, I think
Robin of Sherwood. Maybe.
Robin Lockley.
Or was he not just a
I don't know,
storybook character?
An urban myth of Nottingham Forest, perhaps.
Yeah.
But now he may have been myth, but King Richard certainly wasn't, or King John.
Richard the Lionheart?
Yeah.
Oh no, they were real.
They were real.
John the First?
Yeah, we never hear about them.
Mm-hmm.
We never hear about, and then I shouldn't say we never do, because we do. I was just talking to you recently about Irish ghosts, right?
Mm-hmm.
See how this goes from shadow ghosts to now medieval ghosts?
Right, well, we're just trying to get the, because it all stems back to, you said that a new ghost is a more density, right?
Right.
Yeah.
See, and I think that ghosts fade. I really do. There's a residual ghost I heard about, I think I told you about this, Marlena, you've seen thick apparitional forms in your house, like the cloud.
Yeah.
And then that's not some wispy little thing. That was a big, thick,
fairly substantial mass.
Yeah, and you don't feel that it's evil or anything like that.
No, not at all. No.
It might just be new.
I think it was scared of me. Because it took off pretty damn fast.
Possibly. And it might just have been new. And new, when I mean new, I don't mean died yesterday, but...
Well, the last 50 years.
Last 50 to 100 years, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, Jan, I can't say that you're wrong about that, because
we've never felt negative in front of these things, although the place out in Raleigh, it didn't feel right.
But I've also had out in Ocean View Cemetery, I felt some not very comfortable feelings. Sometimes I get feelings that aren't that comfortable, but it's nothing definite. It's just, I don't know, it's just like a feeling.
Did you see something shadowy there?
No, but I don't know if it's possible that you can express that you felt something shadowy, right? Rather than saw something shadowy. It's like...
Well, I know when you look into the tombstones, it's very dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe it's a matter of our own perceptions, right? Like height, if we just keep on working on believing that we can see these things, we eventually can see them, right? Because your mind becomes more open and receptive to it, right? To the energies. I think we've got a much better chance of learning about this and finding out about it if our minds are open rather than closed, I wonder how many people say they don't believe in ghosts, don't believe in this and that. And there could be something right next to them, they wouldn't see it or believe it or know it because their mind is closed, right? So we're actively looking for this stuff. Our minds are receptive to it. We're trying to tune into those energies, and that's maybe why we're...
Without looking like we're crazy.
Yeah. Do it the subtle way, right?
Yeah, because I just think that shadows are probably painted out to be a lot worse than they really are.
Historically, anything black
is bad.
Or misty and black is kind of evil, right?
Yeah.
We don't know where that comes from, but probably from the medieval.
Absence of light.
Yeah, absence of light,
you
right?
know. I mean, the ghosting hour is supposed to be, 3 in the morning, which is the opposite of when Christ died in the afternoon.
I know all that period where all the Salem witch hunts and witch trials, that was a period where a lot of this stuff, these ideas come from that kind of stuff, right? They carry into our culture. Anything, like I wear a lot of black, so people think that maybe maybe she's kind of into something dark, right? Like maybe she's into. Actually had my next door neighbor came and asked because my house is dark and my clothes are dark. Asked because they are. I don't think they're Mormon. I don't know what they are, but it doesn't matter. But they were discussing with their family, thinking that I might have been a Satanist. So my next door neighbor came over and said she didn't want to be rude, but they wanted to know if I was a devil worshiper or something.
You should just throw your upside down crucifix at her.
Yeah, yeah. I got into a bit of a conversation.
And your ram skull.
Yeah, I mean, people have funny ideas about things, right?
Yeah.
But
See,
it couldn't be further from the truth.
You know the whole witch thing, the whole black magic, the whole Christianity thing, the whole ghost thing, everything that we do in Vancouver Paranormal is kind of like it's almost like every day is Jan and Marlena or Marlena and Jan on the front seat of the hearse, because you were always playing around with theories. We're always trying to figure out what does it exactly mean, and the object that comes to my mind is Pandora's box. Marlene and I would probably have to fight to open up that box.
I think I'd let you do it.
Yeah, well,
I'd just stand back a few
at
feet.
least all the evils on the world. I think somebody's already opened that box, Marlene.
Yeah, seems like it, eh?
But that's the desire,
Mm-hmm.
to try and find some kind of answers that we can actually make sense of. And the more that we think, that we've actually discovered, I think it's probably very, very safe to say that every little thing that we kind of think like, oh wow, look, did you see that? What was that? Marlene and I yelled at a ghost once.
Oh yeah.
And
I didn't actually yell.
I did.
You yelled, but
I
I was like, sort of, my mouth was sort of agape, right? It's like, yeah. It's like, I was so happy.
And it was so
to see
real
it.
looking
Yeah,
when I saw it, even though my mind.
yeah.
See, this is kind of weird, and it's nothing to do with shadow ghosts or medieval or witches. Marlene and
Well,
I.
we're tripping on different subjects now, but it's all sort of.
It all ties. It will
interrelated.
eventually
Yeah.
tie in.
Yeah.
This is, after all, the Marlene and Jan in the front seat of the hearse show, and it will eventually tie together.
It's like a free for all discussion, right?
Yeah, quit rubbing your body all over the place.
Well, that's
all I
something
can
that's
see
crawling
is-
off your top here. Something crawling
Yeah,
off
it's like
your.
you're making this into a porn show here with you
Ooh la la.
scratching away and feeling away, but no, seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Marlene and I took a bunch of guys out to New West White Rock, which is almost on the American border. I mean, you basically could stand and throw a rock. Well, I couldn't, but Marlene is pretty strong. She could throw a rock, and try and keep things as nicely put together as we possibly can. We have little segments of people, and we take one team leader. Now, Marlene is a team leader, but she's kind of above that. So she's above the team leader status, and then I'm the founder. So Marlene is kind of like a semi-founder, I guess, if you will. So Marlene is with me, and we're just sort of standing around with fingers up our bums kind of thing, waiting for everybody to get organized. Any ghost hunter that does this seriously will tell you that control is really important. You've got to keep all your little groups of people in their little groups. Otherwise, you can have all kinds of people wandering in and out of your shots, and smoking cigarettes maybe if they're on a break, and so you want to know where everybody's at, so you don't take a photograph of them in dimming light and say, oh my God, we've got a ghost, because they wandered away from their group into your photo area. So, Marlena and I were standing there with two other people, and somebody just started walking along the fence, and they looked like an average height, well-built male. I would say about 180, 190 pounds. A little stocky, not tremendously so. And I remember seeing his back and his shoulders, and he would have probably been about 5'8" or 5'10". And I yelled at him, because I thought it was one of the people in our group, because it was getting a little bit dark, and I was frustrated like I always am. Come on, move along, get over to your